Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Lex the Gray here. We're doing another Savage Worlds deathmatch. This time with a modern battle map, for no apparent reason actually. But we have a large red dragon here against four typical fantasy heroes. We have a fighter, we have a rogue, we have a mage, and a barbarian. So these are kind of disposable characters. This is, as usual, an experiment. I don't know if this will be a complete slaughter because I will show you the stats of all five participating wildcards. There are no extras here. All of these characters you see on the mat will have 3 wounds and then destroyed by the fourth. Oh, and the this little mat here with the figures comes from a cyberpunk game called Combat Zone. Just FYI. This is our fighter. He is Nyx. Those are his stats if you want to take a little quick pick here, just for reference. I tried to beef them up a little bit because, trust me, you'll see the dragon. He's from the Fantasy Companion Savage Worlds book, which is right here. Of course, he is nerfed just a bit, and we'll get to him in a second. The fighter is number one, just in as far as turn order for our side. This is Reek. She is a rogue elf, and you can take a pic of that too. Take a pause. Number three is Snarv. He's a mage. Those are his stats. He's a human. I like how I wrote humans. And then Bargon is our barbarian dwarf. He's a fighter, or specifically a barbarian. Those are his stats. If you want to take a pic. Okay, so here is the big bad of this combat, this deathmatch, the Red Dragon. His stats are absolutely out of this world, at least to my eyes. His toughness is 20. I did not include the four his scaling armor, which is I think is 4. So I just gave him I kept the really high toughness. But he has quite a few of edges and powers that I will try to use when I remember. He's huge though, so that gives fighters a +4 on their roll against him, I believe, for when attacking, or at least when dealing damage, because his parry is 7. So I'm thinking that +4 hindrance is against his toughness because it's so high. But look at his strength, it's 12, D12 plus 9. And he has Claw's Bite. He's got Fury Breath, which has some has a little process to it, along with the Tail Lash, and then Fear, which I'll decide if I include that or not. But those are his stats if you want to take a pick. Okay, we're not using cards to determine turn order. We have 5 participants in this encounter that's out in the middle of a cyberpunk uh, battle map. So, what we'll do is roll 2d6 and just see who gets the higher roll. Red is the dragon, blue is our 4 fantasy individuals. Okay, so it looks like the 4 individuals will go first. The dragon will have to wait. As usual, we'll have the wild die ready. So in the last combat, the last death match I did, kind of just a straight on head to head. I want to have we have this crate here just for some not just for aesthetics, but I want to use it for our characters as far as climbing, because in the last match I didn't really use any climbing abilities. So what I'll do is get our measuring tape and we will first move Nyx, who's our fighter. He has a pace of 6. Nyx is right here, kind of behind that building. They know the dragon's here. Okay? We don't know the dragon is aware of these four smaller individuals, but I'm going to say the fighter runs behind this crate. Next is, let's see, we'll use Reek, who can go just about here. Next is the Mage. Mage is no fighter. Snarv will have to stand back. He has. Okay, so for powers, I am not using power points. He will just be able to fire per turn, which he has a bolt. If you go back to, he has a bolt right here, which is 12, 24, 48 range. We'll apply applicable modifiers if I remember. But the mage will go, his pace, all of their pace is 6, so that's good to remember. He will go right here. The barbarian, now they do have hindrances, I can't forget this. So Nyx is heroic, um, outsider stubborn. Reek is all thumbs, bloodthirsty, vengeful. Snarv is vow, overconfident, death wish. So Snarv, considering that those hindrances, with the very, very little roleplay required here, I'm going to move him right here. He shouldn't be so close to combat, and his colleagues, his team members, are confused and concerned for his safety. Bargain, the barbarian, he's stubborn and ugly, but he is no pushover. So he'll go right about here. So they're all cooped up here. Okay, their turn is complete. The dragon, I'd say we can ask the Oracle, is the dragon aware of their presence? So we can ask the Oracle, or we can do a notice, which is a D12. So, knowing that the dragon most likely has increased senses, like hearing or such, let's roll a D12 with target number of 4. As normal, I'm going to find my red D12 here with the wild die. Okay, so it indeed knows that these guys are here. And that's 1 raise. So 4, 8 is the raise. So with that in mind, that raise will allow the dragon, with his pace of 8, at least from his base, he's going to move, turn here, and then he's going to move right here. I'm still figuring what the raise could be. Oh, I almost forgot. We will apply bennies, 3 per character. I almost forgot about that. So the dragon, they're all off camera, by the way. I have them lined up with their character sheets, which is just south of the camera. But I almost forgot about our bennies, which I use these chips from the Cowboy Bebop RPG, like so, in the last video and the prior ones. So let's get these organized here and placed per character. So this match will probably go on a little longer than the last one because, well, it depends if it is a bloodbath or not. But I'm giving them bennies to give them a chance. That raise, though, that's what is confusing at the moment. I'm trying to figure out what that raise could be for our dragon. So I wasn't really planning on using an oracle, but let's use one page mythic just for this moment to figure out what that raise could be. Not much narrative here. This is just a skirmish match. But let's see what the raise could be. 73. Negative, okay. 71. Peaceful. It's negative but peaceful. Okay. Negative but peaceful. It's negative for the dragon. No, it'd be negative for the team, but peaceful for the dragon. You know what? I'm not going to consider the raise for anything. I just cannot think of anything off the top of my head. Anyways, let's keep going. Okay, the dragon moved, and he is not going to do anything in a moment. He's curious, maybe perhaps he's hungry, so he's going to eat them up. Now let's go to our team. Okay, first is our fighter, Nyx. He has a pace of 6. He is heroic, so he's going to rush in there. Perhaps might not be a bright idea, because he probably can't get close enough. Or maybe he can. Let's see. That's 2 inches, and then before, I'd say that's close enough. He's going to go for it. Let's make this interesting. So he has his weapon drawn. It's a great sword with a strength plus a d10. His strength is a d12. So what we're rolling is a pretty good combo of his strength of the d10. You grab that, and then a d12 on top of that, plus his wild die. So wild die is not rolled for damage. The parry of the dragon is 7. So, oh, you know what? I'm doing this wrong. I've caught myself here, luckily. We're rolling fighting, which is a d12. Okay, here we go. 11 is a hit, and the dragon has a parry of 7. So it's 8, 9, 10, 11. That's just a standard set. Well, actually, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's a raise. That's just a raise, which means now we roll for damage. So that will be an additional d6, like so. Now we roll the d12. There's no wild die catching this mistake this time. There's no wild die for damage, but he has a d10, the d12 for strength, and then the d6 for the raise from prior. Okay, that's going to be 6. We have 7, 6, 3. So 13, 14, 15, 16. That's not enough. The dragon's toughness is a whopping 20. So next is going to be the. He's not going to re-roll. I was thinking about it for a second, but next is Reek, the rogue. Reek has. Let's use climbing. So Reek wants to climb on top of this cargo container because he has a bow, and this will require a climbing check of a d6 with the wild die, of course. So he's right up to the container. And of course, that is a success, which means, oh, there's a 6 too. That's an additional d6 that explodes. Okay. 5. All right, so that's 9. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. That's one raise. Okay, so not only does he get up here, but I will allow him, he has a clear shot of the dragon. The raise will be perhaps an extra d6 for the hit. Perhaps. We'll do that. Okay. So he pulls his bow out, and this is shooting. This is a d6, along with additional d6 granted by me, and then the wild die. So he's going to pull his bow out and fire at the dragon. And the 3, unfortunately, it's the usual target number 4, but he's so massive in size. Usually the hindrance only applies to fighters, which I failed to consider I forgot about that to consider for our character here, for the fighter. To keep moving on here. But this, unfortunately, was not enough. But the wild die, if I consider a +2, because he has an advantage at that height, I'm going to say that hits. So the 4 hits. But his bow deals 2d6 damage, which might not be enough against a toughness of 20. However, they could explode, so we're rolling 2d6. No explosion. The bow just bounces off his horns, so no good. Okay, next is the Snarf, the mage. So the mage is just right here. He's going to use a bolt, but he has to move in range. So his pace is 6, so he's going to go right here, right behind our fighter. And bolt, this is my first time using a power. His bolt is 2d6 damage. So this is spellcasting a d12. So we have roll d12, and I think it's the usual 4. So we're rolling. That is a success. Okay, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's one raise. 9, 10, 11, 12. That's one raise. Okay, so he gets an additional d6 for damage because the bolt does 2d6 damage. So we will. Oh, I forgot about the wild die, but let's roll the wild die. Oh, okay. 3. Okay, obviously we're going with the D12. I forgot about the wild die. Now we're rolling 2d6 with the raise, which will be an extra d6 for damage. With this bolt, he fires the bolt at the dragon, and that's going to be not enough. 9, 10, 11, 12. The original hit was over his parry, but the toughness of the dragon's 20. The firebolt just hits the wing, bounces off his skin. So, however, he wants to spend a Benny to re-roll that attack. So we will re-roll, but it's only 2d6 this time. So we're rolling 2d6 for the bolt. Hoping for an explosion, for an ace, nothing. Okay. So unfortunately that did not work out. All right. Now we're going to the barbarian. He is quite a ways back. Now, the barbarian, pace of 6, he can go right about here, but he can't really do much. So he's just kind of right behind the mage. Let's come a little closer like that. Okay, dragon's turn. All right, so keeping it simple, the dragon's going to turn to the fighter, like so. And remember, the dragon has fire breath. I don't have the cone to represent the fire breath, fury breath, which is uh doesn't have the distance, but I'm assuming 12 feet. So every opponent has to do an agility roll to see if they can avoid. Okay, so he's using fire breath at everybody at this moment. Let's say specifically the 3 in front of him. We'll ignore the rogue. So everybody has to do a agility roll to dodge the fire. If they fail, they get a 2d10 damage. Okay, so here we go. Uh, this is gonna be the fighter. He's rolling his agility is a d6. Four or more, and that is a success. He jumps out of the way. The mage has an agility of a D. Let's see, a D4, not the best, but wild die. Oh, okay, not enough. So the mage takes 2d10 damage. Let's see what happens here. I'm really curious. 2d10s. The mage's toughness is only a 5. Gosh. All right, I'm trying to find 2 red d10 die. There it is. Okay, here we go. This against the mage. Oh, 7, 8. So that hits 6, 7, 8. That's okay. So this is a shaken. He got kind of lucky. That's a shaken. Toughness of 5, 6, 7, 8. That's within 4. So the shaken is a white poker chip that I'm going to put underneath our He's not going to soak it because I already spent a Benny earlier. Okay. Now we're gonna roll for the because the dwarf is just slightly further away. I'm gonna do a -1 on this. Oh, sorry, -2. Okay. Those are snake eyes. So we have 1/1. That is only 2 damage, -2. So the dwarf just takes some hot air to the face. No damage. Obviously, the toughness would have blocked it anyways. Okay. Oh, I did not roll his agility. My mistake. So we're going to roll the dwarf's agility with a d8 and his wild die. He is able to avoid it. Okay, so he's safe. Because of that, he actually gets out of the way. He jumps behind the canister or the container. Okay, the dragon has went. That was his attack. Now we're back to our team. The fighter is at his side. Can't forget, the hindrance of the dragon, he's huge, so it's a +4 on attacks against the dragon. So the fighter is going to use his greatsword, which is his fighting, with a d12 and a d6 wild die. That's going to be not enough. 5 against the dragon's parry of 7, but +4. I'm sorry, almost forgot. So 6, 7, 8, 9. That is a hit against the dragon's parry of 9. So there's a standard damage roll of strength, which is d12 and a d10. Okay. So here we go. Ooh, we get 10, which means it explodes. The 9, that's 19 damage, but the d10 explodes, aces, that's 19, so that's 30. Let's see, we have 2 9s, that's 18, 10, that's 28 damage. Wow, okay, so 28 is a great hit. He hit a weak spot in the dragon's leg. 28 compared to the dragon's toughness of 20. So that's 2 raises, which means, oh, okay, so he's shaken and he's wounded, but 2 raises, that's 1 success wound, 2 wounds. All right, but let me get the red poker chips here. That was a hell of a hit for the dragon. I'm going to keep these off just to near him when he moves. So he's 2, but he's going to roll. Let me move the camera a bit. There we go. But he's going to spend a Benny to soak it. So we're spending a Benny for the dragon to soak it, which is a vigor check of a d12 for him. So rolling a d12. I'm just trying to find a red one here, which is right off camera. There we go. That is a 6. It's a success. So he is going to take away the. I think you can soak. I'm going to do a house rule. I'm going to soak 1 of the wounds. Okay. Now that was the fighter. Next is the rogue. He gets a little closer and uses his bow once again. Shooting of a d6, which we're just shooting for a +2 because he's so close. Let's do +4 on this d6 roll and a wild die. +4. That's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7. That hits. No raise though. And the bow is 2d6. That's going to be not enough. 4. That does not hit. That does not deal any damage. Next is the wounded. We'll have to do let's see, a spirit check here for the mage. His spirit check is a d8, which is decent. We have to get 4 more to shake off that shaken. Oh, right, we have a the wild die. That's a success. 5. They both are a success. Okay, so he's not shaking anymore. Good. Now he can attack. He's going to use, let's see, what does he have? He has the bolt. Okay, he's going to fire a bolt. That'll be a spell casting, which is D12. And that is going to be a success against, well, so here's the thing. I think it's against the 4, the standard target number 4, but I'm thinking about it could be mistaken there, but I'm going to be doing it against his dragon's parry, and the 8 is a hit. Let's do that. The power is like a standard attack against the parry of the dragon, which is a 7, so it does hit. And the bolt is 2d6. So roll 2d6, no wild die, and that's pretty pathetic. The mage is outclassed, and he doesn't want to spend a penny. All right, next is the barbarian. He has a pace of 6. Barbarian wants to get it close and personal, so he's going to go here and then do another 2. I'll just say oops, he's right about here. I'm gonna let him get close enough to attack the dragon. Okay, might have cheated there just a bit, but he's going to attack for once with his fighting die of a D12. All right, here we go. 4 is not enough, so he fails. Okay, that was the last of the 4. Now it's the dragon. So the dragon is going to just use a standard claws bite, which is fighting a D10 against the barbarian who just walked up to him to shake his hand. And the wild die, that's a 10, which means explodes. So ignore the wild die. The 10 explodes into a 15. So the parry of the dwarf is 7. We have 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 1 raise. 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 2 raises. That's 2 extra d6 for damage for the dragon. So let's take these out. And then we're doing a standard roll for damage for the dragon, which is a strength plus a d8. Jeez, oh my gosh, that's d12 plus 9. It's a lot of math here. My head's going to explode. So let's get his d12 die plus the d8. And yikes, okay. The dwarf might be out of the match here if he gets killed. Plus the 9, we gotta remember that. So, and then 2d6 for the raises. Here we go. All right, let's calculate this. We have a 6, we have another 6, we have a 4, and a 1. That's 12, 16, 17, plus 9. So that is going to be 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, I think. 26 over his toughness of 8. 26. Wow. Okay. Now, let me just note this. We have 26 is what the result was of the damage. Yikes. Okay, his toughness is 8. So 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 1. 13, 14, 15, 16. That's 2. Yeah. 16. 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 3. 21, 22, 23, 24. That's 4. One fell swoop, and the dwarf's entire upper half body gets cut in half, and he is dead. Okay, the dwarf is out. Wow. But we can probably soak it. Can't forget that. I'm gonna spend a penny to soak all of that. But I'm only gonna let him soak down to 2 wounds if he's good enough. So here's what happens. To soak it, we gotta do a vigor check, which is a d12 and the wild die. Come on, it just needs a 4. And there it is. Oh, the d6 explodes. All right, let's go again. Oh, look at that. That's 2 amount of d6s, so I'll just use this. 5. Okay, so here we go. Remember, he has, let me get a visual here. Ultimately, he has 4 runes, like so. And the goal is 4, so that's 12 and then 17. So 5, 6, 7, 8, that's 1, 9, 10, 11, 12, that's 2, 13, 14, 15, 16. That is 3. Yep. So he soaks 3 wounds. And now he is down to 1. I think I did that right, but he did spend a Benny. However, he's not dead. He miraculously heals after being clawed in half. Okay, let's get the exercise off the cable here. Okay, so now it's back to our team. Let's do our fighter. He moves from behind. The dragon is wounded. I'll just put it right there. He moves behind him, and we'll strike with the fighting die, D12. Okay, that's a 7, which is actually good enough to hit the parry of 7. So now we roll for damage. The fighter has the strength of a D12 and a D10 of the weapon itself. Thus, we're rolling these two here. Let's see. I keep forgetting about the hindrance of the dragon +4. Okay, I'll just move on. So 8, 10 is not enough to hit. But because I forgot, I will give him an extra D6 just to be nice. And still, that's 10, 13, not enough against a toughness of 20. So again, even being just giving him an extra kick there for my mistake, it didn't work out. Next is the rogue. He's going to get up here and fire a bow at the dragon with a +4 because he's so close. Actually, let's do a +2. The bow is shooting with the D6 and the wild die, and a +2. Okay, so either one really. That's a 7, which hits. The dragon's parry is 7. Now I just roll 2d6 for damage with the bow. That's going to be a fail. 4, not enough. Okay, bow just bounces off. The rogue is like, why am I here? Next is the dwarf. He's stuck with that wound now. After that amazing use with the Benny. Let's see. All right, just make sure I got my counts right. Okay, so now the rogue went. Now it's the mage. He's going to climb. Well, does he have climb? He does not have climb. That'll be a D4 with the -2 modifier. So he's going to run over here and fire bolt. All right. Let's use the spellcasting D12 against the dragon's parry of 7 with the wild die. And that's not enough. The firebolt goes flying off to the side because he gets distracted. Now it's the dwarf. Turns to the dragon and is going to strike again. And I'm not really considering all the hindrances at this point. A lot to handle, which is a segue to my next video, by the way. Okay, so the dwarf is going to attack. Bargon is going to attack with fighting. That's a D12, which is right here. Okay, 4, that's not enough to hit. But he wants to re-roll because he's vengeful. He's not vengeful, I'm sorry. He's stubborn, so he's going to spend a Benny to re-roll that. Here we go. And that's not good. He wasted the Benny. All right, so he misses. Now it is back to the dragon. Okay, so the reason why I put the fighter back there in the corner is because the dragon has a. Oh, you know what? I completely forgot. The dwarf did hit. Remember, I keep forgetting this. The +4 hindrance, huge factor of the dragon. The +4 did hit because he landed a 3. That's 7. 5, 6, 7. That hits the parry of the dragon. I'm okay. I'm glad I caught that. So now we roll for damage with the barbarian with his great axe. That's a strength of 10, or a strength of D12 actually. I almost forgot about that. And then the D10, which is right here. We're rolling for damage. Okay, so 5. Ooh, okay, that was not enough anyways. So because it was GM error, I'll let him roll a D6. That's going to be not enough either way, but nope, 10, 18 is not enough. Okay, well, anyways, moving on. The dragon, the fighter's behind the dragon. The dragon has Tail Lash, which sweeps enemies 3 feet away, and also is considered an attack, strength -2. And there was an edge that I did not do, and that was fear -2, which opponents have to do a fear check. But to be honest with you, they knew the dragon was here. That's just the beginning scenario, so I kind of let it slide. Okay, he's going to do he's going to spin around and do a tail lash like so. That wound is still there, and each character gets pushed 3 feet away, like so, like this, like this, and then like so. Now, because of that, every character takes strength -2 damage hit. The dragon strength is 12 plus 9, so each character has to see if they get hurt past toughness. This bypasses parry, I think. Okay, that's going to be 6. Oh, 9. That's 18 plus the 12 of his strength. Yikes. So 18, that is, oh gosh. Okay, this could be the end of the fighter. So, all right, we have 9 and then 18 total. So let's count this. So this is for Nyx. He has a toughness of 9. So 10, 11, 12, 13, that's 1 raise. 14, 15, 16, 17, that's 2. 18. Okay, that's 2 wounds. Yes, 2 wounds. Try to spend the Benny to soak one of them at least. At least for my house roll, I'll let him do a vigor check to soak. It can ace and can soak more than 1 wound, but we'll see. Every raise is of soaking a wound. 1 wound only. I think that's the rule, but I just want to keep moving. So he has a vigor check of D6. So we'll roll the wild die. That's 1. He's only able to soak 1 wound. Okay, so he is hurt, but that's spent. All right. Now we gotta do the damage for the mage, which I'm afraid this won't go well. But the mage, just because he's here, the rogue was not affected by this because he's on top of the carpenter container. The mage has a toughness of 5, and so the strength -2. Let's see, is going to be a D12 plus 9. There it is. D12 plus 9 -2. Okay, so here we go. 3 plus 9 for this guy. So that's going to be 10, 11, 12 hit. -2, 10. So 10 hit at the mage. That's a difference of 5. So 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 1 wound. I might have did the math wrong for him earlier, but again, I'll keep this moving. Okay, so he takes one wound. Now the dwarf, who's already has a wound, the mage is not going to spend a Benny to soak that. Now, again, the D12 -1, but it's +9. This is for the dwarf. Of course, it's way over there. Okay, so I have to go around the table here. That was a 12. This explodes. This aces. D12 aces. Okay, so he aced once. And I'll get another D12 here. It looks like I only have one D12. Oh, no, I do. Here we go. 4. Okay, so that's 16 total. -2, that's 14. The dwarf's toughness is, let's see, is 8. Okay, so 14. 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 1. 13, 14. That's 1 wound. Okay, so it has 2 wounds total. Okay, but he's going to try to soak it. It's his last Benny. So he's going to spend a Benny to soak it, and that's a vigor check of a D12. That's a 4. That's 1 soak only. And he spent his last Benny, which is just how it is now. Okay, now it is going to be our team's turn. The dragon did the thing with the spin. And he still has 1 wound, if I even did my math right on that. Okay, so next is the fighter. He's going to run back up at the dragon. Don't need to measure. And he's going to attack with the +4 bonus. Like I remember the hindrance bonus. The fighting die of a D12 and the D6 wild die with a +4. That's the wild die explodes and 10. Okay, so +4, that's 14. So the red dragon has a parry of 7. That's 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 1 raise. 12, 13, 14. That's 1 raise. Okay, so he gets an extra D6 for damage. Okay, now we're rolling for damage. The great sword, strength of a D12, and then the D10 for the great sword itself, with the D6 from the raise. Okay, of course it's right under the dragon itself. Let me move the dragon over here. What do we get? We get this. We have 1 for the D10. There we go. All right, so the dragon took, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's it. That's not enough. The toughness did not help. It was 20 toughness. All right, so not even shaken. Now it is going to be the Reek's turn. Reek's actually close enough to chip his. He's going to use his dagger or his rapier. So he's just close enough. He's going to swing at it. I'll let him hit with but no bonus, no +4 because he's up here. So we're rolling for fighting. That's a D6. Ooh, the 6 explodes. That's going to be additional D6. That's 7. That's going to be just enough to hit. Okay, so rolling for damage, the rapier has a strength, which is a D6 plus a D4 of the rapier itself. Okay. That's not going to be anything at all. It's 4 total. Okay, so that was kind of useless. But he wants to reroll. He'll spend a Benny, hasn't spent a Benny yet, to reroll his attack. Okay. Not enough. 6. Okay, so it didn't work out for him. Next is going to be Snarv. He just has his bolt. He's at a good distance. He's going to fire it with a spellcasting D12. Okay. All right, we have 15, which actually is pretty good. I'm sorry, 10. Parry is 7, that hits. And the attack is 2d6 for bolt. D6 for Bolt. Ooh, the 6 explodes. That's 7. Okay, we roll another D6. That's going to be, let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's not enough. Toughness is 20. This is a tough bout. Okay, next is Dwarf. He's going to move up and get up close to the dragon and hit from behind. I'll give him a +4 on this, which is the hindrance. I think he would suffer penalties because he's wounded, but I'm kind of ignoring it and just going with the hindrance of the dragon. So Dwarf has the fighting die of a D12 and the D6 wild die. We're rolling for attack. That's going to be not enough to hit, so it's a miss. He doesn't have any bendings to respend. All right, that's the team. Now it's the dragon. The dragon turns to. I'm going to keep the dragon's wounds off the side here so you guys can just see it. Perhaps out there. The dragon turns to the dwarf and will attack with just a basic claw. Oh, you know what? Shoot, I made a mistake. All right, I did not count the +4. Let's re-roll. The dwarf attacks with a D12 and the D6 wild die. I apologize. +4 on this one. Okay, so 8 off the wild die. So it does hit. The parry is 7. All right, now we roll for damage. So the great axe strength is a D12 and a D10. Roll for damage. That's gonna be 8. That's not enough. All right. Now the dragon turns around. He's like, okay. And he's going to attack with claw, strength plus that's a fighting move with the wild die. Oh, that's usually the red die, but I'll take it. That's going to be not enough to hit. Fighting die is a D6, D10. I'm sorry, that's not enough to hit the dwarf's toughness or parry of 7. Okay, the dragon took his turn. Now the fighter can get closer up and attack. The fighter is going to use his D12 as usual with the D6 wild die. That's going to be a hit with a 10. It hits, and the strength die gets rolled now, which is a D12 and a D10, which are in the field. So we're rolling for damage now. +4. I keep forgetting, but I'm going to keep moving. All right. I'm going to roll an extra D6 because I made a mistake. That's going to be 10. 4, that's 14. That's not enough. Okay. Next is the rogue. The rogue's going to climb down, so we'll roll for climb, which is D6. That's good. He gets down and get up close and strike the dragon. All right. With his, let's see, fighting with a D6. +4 because he's up close. 4, that's me, 7 actually. 5, 6, 7 that hits the parry. And now we roll for damage. The rapier is a strength, which is his D6 plus a D4. All right. Ooh, the D6 explodes. That's 1 on the D4, but the D6 does explode. That's not going to be enough either way. So that's going to be 9, 10. Okay. Now it was a rogue. Now it is going to be Snarf's turn, the mage. He's going to go this way a bit and fire a bolt with the D12 and the D6. Spellcasting at the parry of 7. Sorry, yep, 7. That's going to be not enough. Okay. Nope, does not hit. Well, I'll consider the size. So +2, it does hit. I'll let that one go. I keep forgetting about the size factor. So the damage of the Firebolt is 2d6. There we go. Keep doing that. Nothing hits. Okay. Now it's the dwarf. He's going to move over here and attack the dragon. All right. That will be, let's see. Barbarian uses his fighting, d12, d6, and a +4 up close because the dragon's huge. All right, so that does indeed hit. +4, we ignore the wild die. That's going to be 15. So the parry of the dragon, 7, 15. All right, so let's see. 8, 9, 10, 11, that's one raise. 12, 13, 14, 15, that's two raises, which means two additional d6s for a hit, for damage. And his great axe is strength, which is a d12, which is around the field already, and a d10, plus the two d6s. This could be a good shot. Here we go. All right. Oh, wow, we have some explosions here. This could be it. So we have two d6s. Those explode. We have a 10 that also explodes. Holy crap. Let me move the camera so you guys can see this. All right, this will be kind of ignored, but not really. All right, so we have to roll the d6. I'm out of d6s. Here we go. The first d6, that's 3, okay? And now the next d6, I luckily have enough. That's 5. The d10, I love Savage Worlds, these explosion moments. That explodes again. I'm out of d6s. Let's use a percentile. Okay, so that's 3. And then it's a 1 to add it there. Now, actually, to be honest, that's throwing me off. I'm going to use this red d10. There we go. All right. Okay, let's do the math here. Yikes. Okay. So 6, we have 20. I'm going to pause the video for a second. We have 44 damage, if my math is correct. 44 damage against the dragon. So that's obviously going to kill the dragon. 44. He hit a weak spot. 44. Wow, that is huge. Okay, let's count it. So his toughness is 20. 44. I'm going to write this down. 44 damage. All right, so 21, 22, 23, 24. That's 1. Yeah, that's clearly going to. Okay, so the dragon's going to spend the Benny to soak what he can. That's a vigor check of a d12. All right, let's get these dice off the field. All right, d12. Here we go. Which it includes a d6 wild die. 7. Okay, so 7. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. That's only one wound. It saves him from death, but he has 3. He was killed, but now he's down to 3 wounds total. Okay. All right, that was a hell of a wow. Okay, so that dwarf really did some heavy damage, but the dragon spent a Benny to soak it, and he has one Benny left. I'm not going to soak it again. Let's keep going here. So that was the dwarf. That was a heck of an attack, and now it's back to the dragon, I think. Yep, the dragon, pissed off as he would be, now will have a -2 modifier on everything he does, if I remember that. But he has um, fire breath. He's going to point blank range fire it straight at the dwarf for doing that. So he backs up a bit and he does a fire breath, fury breath. Sorry. And we have to roll an agility roll for the dwarf. That's going to be a d8 plus the wild die. -2. Remember, so 3, non-success. Oh, I'm sorry. No, no, no. The fire breath is up close. So he is able to dodge, but I'm doing -2 because the dwarf is right there in front of him. So he doesn't dodge in time. -2, he's not able to dodge in time, so he will take damage of that attack. And let's see. So this will be Fire Breath is 2d10 damage. This could be a lot or could be nothing. The dwarf's toughness is 8. Plus the wild. Oh no, there is no wild dying damage. Ooh, it just on the 10 there. It explodes. That's 11. So I'm using the wrong colors as usual, but that's okay. You know it's a dragon. It explodes. It explodes again. Oh gosh. It explodes again. I swear I'm rolling it properly. The dwarf's dead. That's 31. I'm out of D10s here. Let me use a D10. Let's see. Here's one. Here's a D10 from the Oracle. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be huge. That's 10, 20, 30, 36, 37 damage. The toughness of the, yeah, the dwarf's out. So, goodbye, dwarf. He's out of Benny's, yep. Okay, he's defeated. That was vengeance right there. Yikes, that was amazing. Three exploding. I swear I rolled those dice as I normally do. That was crazy. Okay. Now it's back to the fighter. He is going to go behind the dragon for a +4 bonus as usual. An attack. Let's see. We have fighting of a D12 and a D6 as usual. There we go. All right, so 2 does not do enough. 2 on both does not do enough. Okay. Next is the magic bolt. He's going to move over here and fire magic bolt, which will be spellcasting with a D12 at the parry of 7. Why does it keep doing that? Gosh. It is a hard surface, so they do tend to have a roll a bit more. So 5 on both is not enough to hit the parry. Okay, next is the rogue. The rogue is going to go over here and attack with his rapier, which is a D6 and a D6 with the wild die. All right, here we go. That's not enough. 4. Okay, the dragon is going to do, let's see, what do we have? Let's do a, oh, +4, I forgot. It does hit. I'm sorry, +4, he's up close. It does hit. I'm glad I remember that. That's an 8. That's over the parry of 7. Okay, now we roll for damage, which is going to be the, oh, I gotta move the dwarf's card into the death pile. There we go. All right, so this will be the rogue has a rapier of a D4 and a D6. Here we go. Yeah, it's not going to be enough. 4. Obviously, we need explosions on that one, acing. Okay, next is Sarv, who I thought went. Okay, I might have just done the order wrong, but that's okay. Now it's the dragon. The dragon is going to turn to the fighter and use claw or bite. He's going to try to bite the fighter. That's going to be strength of D12 and a fighting die. So let's see. Fighting die of a D10. 11 hits. So, oh, no, I apologize. I'm stepping on my own feet here. The fighting die is the D10 and the D6. All right, so it does not hit at all. I was rolling the attack on mistake, or the damage die. The 4 does not hit. All right, next is the fighter. He's right there. He's going to move up in front of him to protect his friends. He's rolling for attack, which is the fighting die of a D12 and the D6 wild die. All right, stop rolling over there. We have 2 4s, which is not good enough. +4, I forget the +4 hindrance. That hits, so 8. So this hits, regular hit, no raise. Okay, so the D12 of the strength plus a D10 of the sword, the great sword. There it is. All right, what do we got here? 5 and then 7. Not enough, unfortunately. Okay, now it's the mage. He's gonna do a firebolt right here. Let's move the camera just a bit into the field. Here we go. Oh, you know what? The fighter is going to re-roll. He's going to spend the Benny. I'm going to move the mage back. The fighter will re-roll, spend a Benny to re-roll damage. So the greatsword is a strength plus the d12 and d10. So it's just the d12 and d10. Yep, here we go. 8 and 9, 10, 11. That's not enough. Okay, so that was a waste, but we tried. Now it's the mage. There. We'll fire the d12. Oh, I keep forgetting the rogue. It goes next. Rogue can go up here. Gets a +4 on this attack with the fighting and the d6 wild die. +4. The 8 hits. Rolling for damage is a strength, which is d6, plus the d4. Okay, here we go. The 4 explodes. Do another d4 here. 2. Okay, so that's not enough for anything at all. Doesn't hit. Okay. All right. The rogue went. Now it's the mage. Mage just decides to go here. He'll fire the bolt as usual, spell casting, which is his d12. Let's see, where are you? There it is. Wild die on top of that. And that's going to be, I'll do a +4 because he's close. There's a big dragon. So 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a hit. Okay. 2d6 for the firebolt. Or just the bolt, it says. That does nothing. Okay. Alright, so no damage. Now it's the dragon. The dragon goes to here, attack the fighter. Or, you know what? He's going to use Fury Breath. He's going to back up a bit and fire Fury Breath at all 3 characters in front of him. This will be an agility test for all 3 characters. First, we'll do the fighter, the d6, and the d6 wild die. If he avoids, he does. He avoids it. Next is our d10 wielder, the rogue. That is a success. He jumps out of the way. But now, last but not least, is Sarv. He has a measly d6. I'm sorry, d4 for agility. Okay. Ooh, fail. Oh my gosh. Okay. Snake Eyes, that's a critical failure. So, let's see what happens here. That'll be an extra d6 for damage for the dragon. So, let's get that out of the way. Fury Breath is 2d10. So, I'm going to do 2d10s. And remember to use the red ones this time. And a d6. Because I'm an asshole. And if I can find another d10 that's red, where are my d10s at? There it is. Okay. Like a slightly different hue of red in it. Harder to find. And then a d6. This is for damage against our mage. So that's 5, 6. Oh, the 6 explodes. And the 6 explodes. Aces. 4. Okay, so we have 10 and then 18. Ooh. 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's 18. The toughness of 5 for a mage. 18. Yikes. Okay, he has 2 bennies he can spend. Let's calculate this. 18. 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 1. 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 2. 14, 15, 16, 17. That's 3 wounds. He's already wounded. So, can he spend a Benny to soak it? Let's say he has 3 wounds on standby before we calculate this. He's going to spend a Benny to roll for vigor with his measly d4. He needs to get a 4. He does. Oh, they both explode. Nice. They both ace. Okay, which means the D4 roll. That's amazing. Okay, sorry guys, let me put on camera. Just there we go. I'll move it up a little bit. There it is. Okay, the D4 exploded. That's another one. Yikes, I'm out of D4s. So let's get the red D4 here. A lot of acing today. That's a 3. The D6 exploded. Aced. That's a 4. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have 10, 14, 18, and then we also have 19, 20, 21. 21 over 4 is easily, he soaks all of it. He's good to go. I'll let that one go. Wow, he got, oh, no, wait, we can only do 3. You can't do past wounds, almost forgot. So he still has that wound, but he did save himself from imminent death, which is great. He's still in the bout. That was the dragon's move. Now we are back to our team. He got hit, but saved himself. The fighter gets close and attacks with his fighting die of a d12 and the d6. That's going to be a hit with an 8. Oh, that's a 9. That's a hit over the parry of 7. I roll for damage. Strength die d12 and the weapon die of a d10. Okay, so we have 11, 14. Tip that one over, so that's 15 total. That's not going to be enough. But he wants to spend a Benny to re-roll that. So re-rolling for damage. D12 and a D10. Here we go. Okay, not good enough. 10 is not going to hit. That's his last spinning out. Now it's the rogue. The rogue gets up here on the strike with his rapier. The rogue has a fighting of a D6 and the D6 wild die. No explosions. 5 is not enough. Oh, I'm sorry, plus 4. That's right, which I did not use for the fighter, but I'm going to keep moving. That's 6, 7, 8, 9. That hits the parry of 7, which means we'll roll for damage with the D6 strength die plus a D4 of the weapon, the rapier. Okay, that's 4, 5. That's not enough. Okay, the mage, go right here and fire a bolt. Spellcasting with a D6. We'll do a plus 4 on this roll against the toughness of 7, parry of 7. You know what? I'll say 4 because the wounds. The dragon's getting tired. So the 4, we'll use range difficulty for this one, for shooting. But it gets a plus 4 for bonus because of the dragon's size, which I don't think is considered normally, but it's my game. So that's going to be 14 plus 4, that's 18. So that hits. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. We take that out. This is just the attack itself, plus 4. So 10, 11, 12, 13. The parry, which is 4. So 13, let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8, that's 1. 9, 10, 11, 12, that's 2. Okay, he has 2 raises, which means he has 2 extra d6s of damage. The damage of the bolt is 2d6s. So we're rolling 46 here. Here we go. We have 4, 8, 12. So 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15. Not good enough. Great hit, but not good enough. All right. That was the mage's turn. The dragon is pissed off. He's going to walk over and hit the mage head on with his claw, which is going to be strength of the 12 up close and the fighting die of it. I'm sorry, no, it's just the D10 and the wild die. I always forget about that. We're not rolling for damage yet. So the 6 explodes, so we ignore the 7. And we re-roll, let's see. Or I can choose the highest roll, which that's going to be it. So 7, 8, 9, that's a hit. Over the mage's parry of 5, so 6, 7, 8, 9, that's one raise. So an extra d6 of damage. Okay, the claw, here is the big one, the d12 and a d8. So, I have to remember to use the red dice. So that's a extra d6 of damage. The strength die of a d12, which is right here, and the d8 of the claw itself. So here we roll for damage. All right, we have 3, 2, not too impressive. So 5, 6, 7. The mage's toughness is 5, so that's within shaken, but I think that's gonna be another wound right there. So he's already wounded. I'm gonna give him another wound. Okay. Now it's going to be the fighter. Turns here, and he strikes. We're rolling for fighting, d12, and the wild die. That's going to be 10, which hits. Take away the wild die. Now we roll for damage. Strength plus d10. So d12 plus d10. This is for damage. Oh yeah, plus 4. Right. Hmm. I'll give an extra d6 for this one. There we go. If I forget, I always add an extra d6 if I recall. So we have, let's see, 10, 18. 18 damage. His toughness is 20, which, it's just short. Okay, did not hit. It's just short. The rogue is behind. We'll give him an advantage. I'll give the rogue a plus 6 here. He's close, but he's behind, which is one of the rogue's attacks. Plus 2. I mean, it's only for climbing, lockpicking, stealth, disarm, but I'm giving him a plus 2 for damage. Because the foe, this is assassin. The foe is aware of him, but he's unaware that the rogue is behind him. So it's plus 2 plus the 4 side, so it's plus 6 on this next attack. But the plus 2 usually applies to damage. So I have to remember plus 4 first for the attack if it hits, plus 2 for damage. So we're rolling for the rogue to attack with his fighting die and the d6 of the wild die. That is going to be a plus 4, so we can use either one. So that's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9. That hits. Now the plus 2 for damage. So for damage, it's going to be the strength die of a d6 and a d4 of the rapier. Okay, plus 2 on this roll, which is not enough. We have 7, 8, 9. That's not enough. Okay, now it's the mage. He's getting desperate. He's going to use his weapon for the first time, I think, the staff. He has a weapon die of a d8. You never know what happens, though. This game has been very surprising to me. How long it's been going. It's not how long it's been going, but it's the amount of aces we've had. So we're rolling for attack with the staff. The fighting die of a d8, which is impressive for the mage. That I did spend the points on that. And the d6 wild die. D6, oh, plus 4, because these are close, so we'll use the 10 total. No raise, just the standard hit. And the staff does hit with, we'll roll for damage with a strength die of a d6 and the d4 of the staff itself. Nothing. 4. It just taps the dragon's nail and the dragon laughs. All right, now it's the dragon's turn. The dragon's going to turn around and focus on the rogue right behind him. So it's kind of out of camera. Let me move this a little bit. There we go. Okay. The dragon attacks with a fighting die with his d10 and the d6 wild die at the rogue. The 6 explodes, so we'll use that one. Do a D6. 5. That's going to be a 9. The rogue has a parry of 6 that hits. No raise though. It's a standard hit. Okay, but it hit, so that's going to be a significant amount of damage. The rogue has no wounds yet. All right, here we go. So let's do the math here. We have a D12 for strength. He's just using his standard claws, and the D8 for the claws itself, which is right here. Okay, here we go. Run with it. Plus 9 on the damage, but minus 2, so play plus 7 because he's wounded. Oh, okay. So 8 plus 3, so that's going to be 9, 10, 11, plus the 7, that's 18 damage against the parry of, let's see, I'm writing this stuff down. The rogue has a parry of 6, so let's count this. 7, 8, 9, 10, that's 1. 11, 12, 13, 14, that's 2. 18, that's 3. Okay, so that's 3 wounds on standby. But will he spend a Benny? He has 2 Bennies left. He will spend a Benny to soak what he can. Okay, his vigor is D6. We're rolling. We just need a 4. Oh, we have an explode. We have an ace down here off camera. Okay, we have 1 ace. 2. That's 8. That's going to be let's see. That's 1 raise. So he soaks 1. Success, which means he soaks 2, I think. You're mistaken there. I'm gonna keep moving. He soaks 2. So he's wounded 1. Okay. That was the dragon's attack. That's all he's going to do. Back to the fighter. Or I guess behind. Be a plus 6 or plus 4 for this hit. He's using his fighting die of a D12. This is going on for a while. Let's see, D12. Okay, here we go. Rolling for attack. That's going to be 6 total. That's not enough to hit. Oh no, plus 4. That is 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a standard hit. And rolling for damage. Let's see, great sword is strength D12 and D10 as usual. And rolling for attack or rolling for damage now. 6, 3. That's 9. Nothing happens. Okay. Oh wow, the rogue attacks up front, or let's say the rogue tries to get behind. Right here, attacks from the side, and we'll roll 4. Let's see. We have his rapier, fighting die of a D6, and his wild die. Okay, that's not going to be enough for anything. Plus 4. I keep forgetting that's 7. That does hit. Okay, so it's a regular attack. The rapier, D6 plus D4. Rolling for attack. Nothing. 7 or 6. That's not going to be enough. Okay. The mage gets up right here and attacks with his staff, which is fighting die plus the wild die of a D. Let's see, the fighting die is a D8, which is still surprising to me. But he has a D4 or a D6 for the wild die, and that's going to be a hit. Plus 4, so 8, 9, 10, 11, which means 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 1 raise. That's going to be an extra D6 for damage. His strength is a D6, and the D4 for the staff, and the extra D6 right there. Let's see what happens. No aces, but it's not going to be enough. The mage wants to re-roll. He's going to spend a Benny to re-roll. Okay. We'll re-roll all of that. One more time. Nothing. Okay. That was it for the mage. All right, the dragon focuses on the mage, who's mostly hurt. Oh no, you know what? He's going to use a tail whip. the tail lash. Every character gets pushed 3 feet away. So let's get the stick out. So let's get the measuring tape. There. Let's say it goes right here. And then right there. Okay. So we got to do a agility check for each character who just suffered that. Actually, there is no agility check. That's for fire breath, fury breath. So this is just a straight up damage roll, but it's strength -2, or it is going to be. I might be mistaken here. One second, I'm gonna pause the video for a second. Okay, so it's a strength -2. I'm gonna just keep going with it. I'll say it's a straight damage roll. Now this will be a D12 -2, so it's +9 -2. So we're doing it for the fighter first with the wild die. No, this is damage, no wild die. For the fighter, 8. So let's see. That's going to be +7. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 15 damage against the. That is the rogue, actually. So 15 damage. He has a parry of 6. That's a toughness of 6. So 7, 8, 9, 10. That's one raise. Let's see, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 2 raises. That's 2 wounds. He has 1 Benny left. So 2 on standby. He's going to spend a Benny to soak that. Spend a Benny. We're rolling a D6, a Vigor check. Rolling a D6 to see if we can soak that. Oh my gosh, he failed, which means the rogue has been killed. That's a fail. Yeah, you can't survive that. Okay, the rogue's out. Numbers are they're dragons thin the herd now. I keep rolling blue for the dragon. I can't remember to roll red. Okay, now we got to roll for the uh, fighter, and here we go. So we had Snake Eyes that failed. The rogue is killed. You can't forget the dragon still has 3 wounds. And now the red dragon. We're rolling for the fighter. Let's see, where is this statistic? The strength is a D12, which is going to be 7. Okay, so that's going to be 8 plus 8, 16, so that's 15. 15 damage to the fighter, 15 to hit, and we have to see if that hits the toughness of 9. So 10, 11, 12, 13, that's 1. So that's 1 raise. So that's going to be another wound. Shaken, meaning 3 wounds, as I say. So he's on his last leg, literally, probably. He has no Benny to spend, so now it is going to be the mage. Okay, he has to roll. So D12 plus 9, but -2, so set plus 7. Oh, okay, so 7 plus 2, that's 9. The mage has. Oh, yeah, I gotta move our rogue's card off the table. He's been defeated. So that's going to be 7, 9. Snarv has 5, so 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a wound and a success, which means no, I'm going to. Yep, the mage has been defeated at this point. No reason to keep going for him. Okay, so it's the fighter against the dragon. The fighter rushes up and is going to attack, retire the mage's card. The fighter, they're both wounded equally. This is going to be intense. Okay, here we go. I'll try to get a little closer here. There we go. All right. Okay, it actually is an easier track now, who's who. So rolling for fighting a D12 and the D6 wild die. Here we go. 6 or 9, that's going to be a hit. Something I've not been using was an edge of the fighter, was attack all near enemies, -2. So I completely have missed that, but to be honest with you, It's been so hard to track everything else. I'm surprised I don't even remember the +4 that I have to consider now. So this 4 because the dragon is nearby. Because the fighter is wounded, as equal to the dragon, take away 2 from that, so only add 2. So 11, that's 8, 9, 10, 11. That is a raise, that's a wound for the dragon. However, the dragon is going to spend his last Benny to do a vigor check. That's a d12. So here we go. Okay, so 7, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's only good to take off the one he just received. All right, so, oh, actually, no, 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 wait. We have not rolled for damage yet. I'm sorry, we rolled that it hit. Hold on, let me back up here. I lost track of he did the check there. That hit with a +2. So my apologies. So he got a hit. +2, that's 11. Not a +4, but +2 because they're both hurt. Meaning the dragon's parry is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's going to be an extra d6 of damage. Now we roll for damage. That's going to be the d12 of the strength and d10 of the. And I gotta give the Benny back to the dragon. I forgot. The d10 of the weapon itself. Now we roll for damage with the d6. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have 10. Wow. 19. 6. The 6 explodes. Whoops. There we go. The 6 explodes. 3. Okay, so 19. We have 25, 26, 27, 28. Guess what? The dragon takes his final wound, but here's the thing. That is, again, 19. That's 25, 26, 27, 28. 28 toughness is of, that's 2 raises. He cannot recover from that. He can spend a Benny, try to spend a Benny, but let's see what happens. We gotta do a vigor check. Here's the thing. I don't think the dragon can survive this. He's been going on for so long. The Benny, I have to let him. But at the same time, I have to let him spend it. So I'm sitting down for this. He will spend it to do a check if he can survive that last wound. If he doesn't, if he fails, game over. The fighter, the lone fighter, lone wolf, survives. So we need to roll a 4 or higher. Look at that. So the 6 lands, which means he doesn't get the final wound. Okay, the dragon turns to the fighter. No more bennies on the field. They're all benned out. All bennied out. Okay. The dragon is just going to do a simple claw bite with his fighting die of a d10. Ooh, okay, so the wild die explodes. Aces. 5. That's 9 over the parry of 8. So that does hit. Good thing it exploded for the dragon. That's a standard hit. So, but the claw bite is a huge amount of damage. So it's going to be a d12 plus a d8. There we go. Plus 9. But I'm going to do -2 penalty on that because of he's wounded. So plus 7. So that's 15 plus 7. 22, I believe. 22 damage. The fighter has a parry of 9. That is game over. He has 3 wounds. He has no Benny to spend. Game over. The fighter, dead. He failed. It could have been a fighter victory if I didn't consider the spending the Benny or not, but the dragon, it was a hell of a battle. Hour and 30 minutes, which is my longest video for a while now. Oh man, that was pretty good. I hope you guys enjoyed. I thought it was fun. The dragon did eventually defeat everyone, but as expected, the fighter survived last. He put up a great fight, but unfortunately was not enough. So Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Please subscribe, comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want me to do more of these death matches, but I will be going back to the Shadow Skip campaign, and I have some big news regarding that I will announce in the next video. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.